Just a thrill, and then we're all excited to see you and Jerry, and believe me, we'll be sad to see you guys go because then we'll be boring again.
I think he's hilarious.
Not before long, news of our shoot spread across the country and television news crews swooped on the town. One has to appreciate that it's been 10 years since the Seinfeld sitcom finished production, and all of America has been waiting for Jerry Seinfeld to make a comeback on TV. So just the mere hint of him doing something on television attracts massive interest from all walks of media. On the Monday evening, the greater television commercial shoot was one of the leading stories on national CBS News.
Everyone's talking about it.
This is big news in town. Big news.
How did you hear about it?
Did I hear from you, Shayna?
Yeah. I heard through people talking on the street.
It was actually on the news last night.
Yeah, I heard about that. But the woman whose daughter owns the clothing store next door, she was bragging that she was on the news last night.
You're watching CBS 2 News in high definition.
He's one of TV's best-loved comedians, but today Jerry Seinfeld was playing Pitchman.
Seinfeld was shooting a commercial in Cedarhurst and creating quite the buzz in town among the locals. Here's CBS 2's Scott Rappaport.
What's the deal with all the cops?
It's all crazy. I'm not allowed to be interviewed, sorry.
What? I mean, what is the deal?
Jerry Seinfeld is here.
Yup, behind the plethora of police and fancy movie equipment in Cedarhurst.
Hi.
That's Jerry Seinfeld, animated, keeping hydrated, shooting a commercial for an Australian bank right in the middle of town.
It's really cool. Like, nothing ever happens in Cedarhurst, so it's great.
As scores of the curious and starstruck
He's practicing all his takes. It's really cool.
came out in hopes of getting a glimpse of comic royalty.
We were here since 7 in the morning, and we waited by the trailer, and Jerry came out, and he signed our Friends Brothers cast, and we said hi to him, and someone high-fived him, and he was so nice, and it's so exciting.
Do we need to call you a paramedic?
Not yet.
So why here in Cedarhurst? Jerry's people said he wasn't talking, but we got the scoop from the folks from the bank down under who hired him.
We figured that Jerry Seinfeld's a big enough star to do the commercial where he wanted to do it, and he wanted to do it here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why here?
Yeah, well, it's more convenient for him.
They went all out for the shoot, creating a makeshift bank out of one of the stores right here on Cedarhurst Avenue. Yep, no expense was spared.
How much does he make for something like this?
I think we're paying about $10.50, and then there's some lunch money in there as well.
But a rich experience for stargazers here in a most unlikely place. Scott Rappaport, CBS 2 News.
But that's in Australian dollars, so you don't tell how much that is in the U.S. The bank commercial will air in Australia in July. And Jerry, if you're watching, if you want to come back on television, if you're bored, CBS would love to have you. Julie Louis-Dreyfus has a hit on CBS.
She sure does.
New Adventures of Old Christine. Good show. All right, Lonnie Quinn is here.
I don't think Mr. Moonves has asked him, though, right?
No.
So that was good you mentioned it.
Yeah,
Right?
well, some of us have more clout than others.
Well, I heard the radio edition of it, actually, on CBS FM. So you're getting national coverage on it already. It's a hit before it's even wrapped.
I've been Jerry's manager since 1980. What year is this?
That's nearly 30 years.
Wow. Next year is 30 years. So yes, 1980, and in 1981 he did his first Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, soon after we started working together. May 6, 1981 was his first Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he did about 50 some odd beyond that.
And tell me, although the Seinfeld show has been obviously a big success, there's no question that the Greater Building Society ad would be the pinnacle of your career.
Yes, I mean, Seinfeld was okay. The Greater Building Society was greater. Let's face it, it is greater. You know, he had a nice run, but this is before he knew what real fame was about. We found that in Australia. This is the greatest worldwide publicity connection to the Greater Building Society than I've ever seen in my life. You know, I've been around for a long time. A long time. I go back to Elvis Presley on Ed Sullivan Show.
Now, George, what I want you to tell these guys, by the way, is what we got away with yesterday. You were saying...
Oh, he was drinking all day in the tavern.
No,
that's what he got away with. That tavern right on the corner. If you could get a shot at that tavern.
Not that fast.
See, that's what he got away with.
Why did I even do this?
You brought it up.
Why did I start there?
Did he not
Why
bring
did
it
I
up?
start there?
He brought it up, getting away with it.
George, could you just tell us, though, you were saying yesterday you'd never seen Jerry deliver so much in a day, but...
That's right. No, that was the best commercial shot of production in one day that I've ever seen in my life. And I said I've been around quite a long time. But that was amazing. He did 28 bits, 28 pieces of material, plus a lot of other lines and prancing around and enjoying himself. Okay, that was the best production day I've ever seen. He was in the tavern. But he said, you know what he said? He said, okay, boys, do it. So he does get credit. He came out and said, take care of everything, and he said it very forcefully. So that's
you know what? You've become as evil. You have become as evil as him.
Well, you know, you're feeding me all these lines. I can't help it. You're the best straight man I ever met.
One last thing, Don McGinn. Have you got anything to say to Don?
Yes, he tolerates you. I think he should get an award too.
Courtesy of all the media attention, the secret was out, at least in America, that Jerry Seinfeld was returning to television. Within hours of the various news broadcasts, YouTube and the internet were full of reports of Jerry's return to television.
I went out and I was walking down the street, and all of a sudden I see these police cars, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? Because it was really freaky because there were a lot of police cars, and all of a sudden there's this little blockade thing, and I look around and I see this huge set. And all these TV show, not TV shows, all these TVs and these TV cameras, and you know that thingy that they go cut with. So I saw that, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? And someone's like, dude, Jerry Seinfeld's here. And I'm like, okay, because I live in a really, really tiny town. So I was like, whoa, that's so weird, Jerry Seinfeld's here. But whatever, apparently he was shooting a commercial, and we were really, really excited. And so we went up to the director and we asked him what it was for, because it was so weird. So we asked him what the commercial was for, and he's like, oh, it's for a bank commercial. We're like, oh, when's it airing? He's like, oh, it's not airing in America. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, it's for an Australian bank commercial. So now some Australians will be able to see some of my town because there's a commercial for the Australian bank. So not yet, but they're filming again tomorrow. But type in on YouTube Australian bank commercial in a few weeks and see if you see Jerry Seinfeld. Australian bank commercial, Jerry Seinfeld, and see that, and then you'll see some of my town there. It's really cool. So now some people in Australia know where I live. It's pretty cool.
I certainly haven't seen advertising like this done for banks or building societies or financial institutions before. So, I think we may have done something pretty innovative. Yeah, he did an exceptional job, I think. I take my hat off to him. I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he did it, and we were very lucky that we picked the right comic for the project. We stopped business, we caused chaos with the kids. We had a Haagen-Dazs special offer going on while we were filming, with people getting free ice cream in the shot, and it was challenging but extremely entertaining because he's obviously a very professional guy. I mean, from the very beginning, I think this is something Jerry was excited about. I was amazed to see him give so much of his material to you guys. It was a great moment of the aligning of stars that made it happen. It's been a terrific experience. I mean, I have thoroughly enjoyed every part of the process. I can honestly say that.
Hey, you folks look wonderful here. And then when I got in the Army, I love this show. I always feel you can work a little racy after lunch. And I'll tell you something about love. Love is two people trying to stay together without saying the words, I hate you. You say other things. Things like, why is there never any sticky tape in this house? You don't say, I could kill you right now. You say, you're so funny sometimes. That's what love is.
One thing we do love about being with the Grader is that you get a free holiday when you get a home loan.
We've been on 3 holidays already.
I have 72 shows next week out the back of Burt. Good seats are currently available. In fact, all seats.
We love the Grader and we love Jerry Seinfeld.
We love the Grader.
Yeah, I'm the crowd control person here for Grader, and it's
been great. It really has. I love yelling at people, and I'm glad to be paid to do so. Thank you very much. Keep walking all the way straight through, all the way down. All right, don't look back at me. All right, keep going. Keep moving. You took the picture. Great. Now let's keep moving. Thank you very much. Keep moving. Causing a big crowd. Baby strollers everywhere. Come on.
I'd like to talk to you about a home loan. Not for me, for you. I have a home.
Get a Getaways home loan from the Greater. It could be the most fun financial decision you'll ever make. Just ask a Greater customer.
When we shopped around for a home loan, we found the Greater had one of the lowest interest rates.
And a free holiday with over 200 choices, and there were no catches.
Get a Getaways home loan and go on a free holiday. Or loan us some money and we'll go on a holiday. Either way, someone's getting out of here.
And what we have with a figure, a squeaky clean figure like Jerry Seinfeld, is what we have is an opportunity to use his personality, his brand, his reputation, and be able to connect it with ours. And that's a really, really powerful thing to have. There are some organisations in Australia that just have bottomless pits of money, and they can afford to go out and get anyone in the world they want to endorse their products. Organisations like Telstra, McDonald's, and they do, they try to get them. And so infrequently do they ever get anyone who's just a really outstanding talent. And the chances of getting someone like that working for you are very, very few and far between. And when it happens, it's the bonus of a lifetime. And if the star that happens to agree to do your commercials happens to be of the stature of someone like Jerry Seinfeld, then the effects and benefits are multiplied in an extraordinary number of ways. So you can have a great idea, all the creative people can have these great ideas, and you can even get the stars to agree with it. But that only gets you so far. The next stage is when the senior management of an organisation, the CEO, the board, and people like that have the vision to be able to recognise that this is something really powerful, that this is something that can make a brand, and go with it. And it takes a bit of guts to do that, and it's great to see people who've made that decision and actually pulled it off.
You want to talk about great? The greatest lesson I have ever learned in life is that sucks and great are actually pretty close. You have an ice cream cone. You're walking down the street, the ice cream falls off the top of the cone, hits the pavement. Sucks. What do you say? Great.
You really want to know what's great? The interest rate I get on my bonus saver account with the Greater.
Don't forget Tuesday's free t-shirt night right here in front of the Greater.
You've got someone like Jerry who everyone recognises. I mean, if we're ever going to get someone who just has that universal appeal that will get everyone to sit up and take notice of, here's the Greater Building Society with Jerry Seinfeld standing in front of their brand. Fantastic. I met with Jerry in New York when we went to talk to him about the concept and to sign the agreement, and he's a really down-to-earth character. Someone who's such a megastar really is just an ordinary sort of person when you get to meet him. He's really friendly, no airs and graces, a really, really nice guy. Yeah, Jerry reflects our brand. One of the reasons that we were looking for someone like Jerry is because he's got that little bit of cheekiness about him, a sense of humour. We've used that sense of humour and had a little bit of a joke in some of our commercials in the past. I think it is reflective of our brand and how we want to be perceived in the market, of being someone who's there challenging the big guys, but challenging them in a fun sort of way, and it reflects the culture in the organisation. This is one of the most exciting times in the Greater's history. I think it's an opportunity for us to grab this with both hands. We can make a big difference now. Some of our competitors have disappeared from the market. Here's a chance for the Greater to take up that gap. We can be in amongst some of the big guys now, making a real difference.
When I was a kid, the two most exciting words in my life was when there was a toy in a cereal box and it said free inside. Free? Does that mean I can just reach my hand in the box and pull it out right here in the supermarket? That's free.
We got a free holiday with our home loan.